Watson. Room here to run. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46.
18, Pioneer.
Now here's Vick. He's going to air this out deep for Harvin. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A big play there. 46 yards as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point forthcoming. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. 3rd quarter from Miami. This is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Now, a quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And now here's another interception. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. So he picks it in one end zone, brings it all the way down inside the red zone.
And he took a gamble, didn't he, Brandon? I mean, he intercepted that in the end zone. Could have taken a knee there. They get the ball on their own 20. Great job taking the ball away. But he takes that chance, brings it out, and boy, what a conversion that turned out to be.
After the interception, here's Watson. And my goodness, another interception. And the Dolphins are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Vick with the incompletion on first down, and now that leads to 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 33. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And, partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
He finds his man, complete. That's Bush. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. The Dolphins bring out an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Here's Watson. That's complete to Sharp. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
On 1st down, it's Watson. He's going to let this one go deep. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 53 yards. And the Vikings have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
A fairly short kick from the 14.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping Chili on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Off the play fake, Vick. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Vick with the incompletion on first down, and now that leads to 2nd and 10. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Here's Johnson with a reception. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
Hey, Alpha! Hey, keep it, Bravo! Hey, Mike 7! Hey, Charlie!
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he will have a Dolphins first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Lawrence will throw. Buying time to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Here's Vick. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
He's airing it out for Williams. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
Now that's a tough throw because he's moving to his left. He's got to get his shoulders pointed back right to throw it all the way across field to try and connect. Unable to do so.
They're going on 4th down. Lawrence. He's got a man, complete. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's got his man Sharp, complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Here's Vick. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The good signal calls will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. What a play. The big man comes up with the interception. Puts together, Charles, a nice little return, too.
Yeah, he's not going to make anybody forget Darrell Green or Rod Woodson, but look at him lug that thing. He decided it was his. A lot of people might have thought about lateraling it there. No shot. Trying to take it the distance.
Watson to throw. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
Now Watson. Oh, Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week in practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
Now they're going to throw it here with Vic. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
18, Pioneer.
Vic to throw. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there.
79 Broncos. 19 strikes. 19 strikes.
Vic. He's going to air this out deep for Harvin. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? One by land, two by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, every now and then I actually listened
and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 40, 20. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as head play backfires in a big way. And this will go out of bounds, so a mistake to not at least keep it in play there, and that likely was their final chance. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Last time out, remember, they fumbled the football. That led to the touchdown. And, Charles, they were in the red zone, so that's a backbreaker. They got to try to pick up the pieces here on this drive.
Yeah, and I actually started to do the math here, so be patient with me. 12-point swing is the way I calculate it because not only did they drop the ball in the red zone, they watched the opponent score a touchdown right after that. So their goal, have a drive here and try and get some of those points back.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be second and a couple. Watson. Forced out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep, back over the middle. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
The receivers have been running them ragged. Maybe some tired legs in the secondary, maybe some tired legs in the pass rush. Didn't get to him, and look what resulted. A touchdown, tie game. They've got a chance to take the lead.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
Warriors 70. Comeback team. Comeback team. Mustang 19. 70 Rangers. 70 Rangers.
Now Michael Vick. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
It's a play fake. Now Vick. He's going to air this out deep for Harvin. And this is going to be intercepted. And some room to maneuver. And the Vikings are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
Here's Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. Oh, they try a lateral on the return, and now the ball's loose. And this will go out of bounds, so no recovery. And that is how this one will come to an end. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, they fought hard to reach this point, Charles, and now what an opportunity. They've got the ball first, a chance to take this overtime win away from the hostile crowd.
And you know, as the quarterback steps into the huddle, the first thing he's telling his team is, remember, we need 6, not 3. So we don't need a good drive. We need a great drive. And this is what they've been planning for. It's time to execute and take it downfield, even against all these odds.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Watson. He finds his man, complete. It's Bush.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Back-to-back completions, and that puts them in enemy territory.
And we're always looking for that elusive term, momentum, aren't we? And I think they're building it with the back-to-back completions. Now they feel like they can either take a shot or continue to build it the way that they're doing now. Safe throws, get it to their playmakers, and see what happens. Watson on first down.
That's going to be caught by Waddle. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
the 44. Watson. Oh, and it's intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to have it with a chance to win the game here in overtime. He had the interception woes in regulation, and now they carried it over into overtime. And on the other side, CD, all they need is a field goal to win it.
I'm glad you pointed that out, Brandon, because he has not been sharp all game long. He's been rather loose with some of his passes, and this one might cost him the ball game.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw, Vick. He's going to air this out deep for Harvin. Oh, and it's intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Vikings are going to have it with a chance to win the game here in overtime. So an interception on one side and then an interception on the other. So both quarterbacks, Charles, with turnovers here in overtime.
So apparently one good defensive play deserves another. Both sides coming up big in overtime, both getting interceptions, trying to set up their teams to score and win the game.
To throw, Watson. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Jalen Waddle there. And it's 2nd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson. That's caught by Pitts. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. A little risky there when you roll out of the pocket right like you did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
How many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter whether they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. The defense does its job. Now they're going to get the ball here in overtime with a chance to win it.
Major League kudos to them, because to get the ball back in this spot, everything was on them. It had to happen, and they pulled it off. They'll get it back for their offense with a chance to win.
Here's Ty Long now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. A good head-down running on the return, gets about 15 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. 1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Well, this is a pretty rare situation here, Charles. You get in overtime, neither team coming through with even a field goal on their first drive. So now, sudden death with the time remaining. Next score wins.
And now I would say that going at it might be a little bit easier for both teams now, because they've eased.
And this is caught. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one, because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to one possession game at the end.